Hello everyone, this is Defense Politics Asia, and this is a quick update over at the situation within the Ukraine war. There's the latest information coming from the Chechen leader KADYROV. In his Telegram channel, he announced that they have received orders for the Chechen units to be deployed and go on the offensive. And it's a almost surprising development because it has been so quiet and everyone has been anticipating for the Ukrainian offensive. It looks like the Russians are not going to wait. And of course, as usual, the Russian defense ministry will send disposable troops. First, we have the Wagner. So the Wagner have retreated. Now we have the Chechen forces. So according to KADYROV, he wrote, "Friends, the Chechen units have received a new order to redeploy their forces. The territories of the Donetsk People's Republic becomes the area of responsibility." So this means that the primary area of responsibility will be the Donetsk People's Republic's area. Then probably referring to Avdiivka front, Bakhmut front, and the Donetsk front. And according to the order, the fighters of the Chechen units should begin active hostilities and liberate a number of settlements, so that they are given certain objective that they are supposed to achieve. However, the first stage has been going on for several days now, which basically confirms that they are taking over from the Wagner forces, because the Wagner forces have just left from the 26th. So on the 26th, they have left and they handed over to other military units from the Ministry of Defense of Russia, which means that it's likely to be the Chechen forces, since they say a few days from the 26th to 31st, which is this report, which is today is 31st. So to the 30th, as this information comes from, it is several days. So the command headquarters of the units is developing plans for the promotion and liberation of settlements when they are receiving new intelligence. So they are now developing the plans what to do and how they are going to conduct the offensive. So he also announced several information about the commanders. So his brother Adam Delikhanov met with the commanders of the area of responsibilities and in the so-called Mariinsky direction. This refers to the Donetsk front. Mariinsky refers to Marinka and the area around Marinka, like Boyeda, Novo Mihailivka. So let me show you. It is around this area here. This is the Marinka region. This Marinka, and probably referring to this entire area. I forgot to pull out the. So it's this is Marinka, and it looks like it's gonna be this entire area here is probably referring to Mariinsky. Probably usually it refers to Voleda as well, Marinka, and Krasnohorivka around this region. Avdiivka tends to be known as Avdiivka direction usually. So going back to the statement, they met with the commanders which are in charge of the Marinka area and the forces of the Special Force Akhmat and the North Akhmat Regiment. So we do encounter the North Akhmat at the Bilohorivka region, in the Luhansk region, Bilohorivka in the Luhansk region, where they were reported fighting in that area around a few weeks ago. Of the regiment of the Ministry of Defense of Russia has been deployed here. So the command of which will be carried out by the dear brother, hero of Russia, Major General Abdi Aludinov. It does also sounds like a Chechen commander. That feels like a Chechen name. And the commander of the Silver Akhmat Regiment, Zandini Zingiev, reminds me of Zangief, of the Street Fighters, has invaluable experience in this area here. So so he's basically spelling out who is in command, I guess. I'm not very familiar with. As we go along, hopefully I will get acquainted with it, because this feels very new to me. These days, combat units are prepared for assault activities with the active support of the Ministry of Defense and the General Staff of the Armed Forces of Russian Federation. So this sounds basically like the Chechen forces is entirely separate from the Ministry of Defense. Basically, similar arrangement as the Wagner private military contractors as such, because the Wagner group attacked with the support of Ministry of Defense of Russia Similarly, now the Chechen forces is going to go in as the same thing. Like I said, disposable troops. And similar orders to launch an offensive were received by other Akhmat units of the Russian Ministry of Defense and National Guard, which are located in alternative sections of the contact line of Zaporizhia and Kherson region. So this is actually pretty surprising, because we are talking about Zaporizhia, it's not too bad, but Kherson region is a bit funny, because Kherson, the Russians are in the defensive posture below the Dnieper River. So for those that are not so familiar with the geography, so this is Zaporizhia, and this is the Zaporizhia line, and this is basically also you can call this the Zaporizhia front. And this area is likely to open to some kind of offensive if the Russians want to do it, with the objective with Poroske, Novomihailivka, and also perhaps even Kaislivkivka. With this area here taken, basically the entire reinforcement to the eastern front here will be like in deep mess. So then Zaporizhia will become utterly useless if all this area is captured by the Russian forces. This city will become a pointless city. And then but we have Kherson. So this is the Kherson region. This area here, this is Kherson region. And this Kherson region is basically break up by the river, the Dnipro River, and there is no bridge that can be used as of now to conduct any kind of offensive northward. So this is kind of unusual to say that there will be offensive in the Kherson region. Perhaps they are only referring to maybe artillery battles. So, and they also have measure of tactical training, distribution of tasks between commanders and fighters, study of terrain and location of enemy forces. So this is basically basic military planning. And now he also added statements on the Ukrainian side. He's saying that unlike the Europeans and Ukrainian media, which has been trying to frighten the Russians for several months about a fantastic and terrifying offensive, they will not announce anything. This sounds like a mistranslation. Basically, I think he's trying to say that they will not try to play the same game of trying to play an information war. Instead, he will report without hesitation, without waiting for the NATO Ukrainian offensive. So Kadyrov basically say that they are not going to wait for the Ukrainian offensive anymore. The offensive of the Akhmat unit begun. We are tired of waiting, and then blah blah will be punished. So basically, Kadyrov declares war, and he basically did what the Ukrainians does, declaring their offensive. But I got a feeling that Kadyrov is more, how to say, more to his words. So we will continue. We will see. I think the offensive operations from the Chechen forces is unlikely to begun within a week. They need some time to do reconnaissance, intelligence regathering, preparation of forces, deployment of forces. So I believe the Russians will take another 2 weeks. At least the Chechen forces will take another 2 weeks. So keep a lookout for the Russian offensive. Anyway, this is the quick update about Kadyrov statement about receiving orders for the Chechen units, the Akhmat units, to go on the offensive in the Ukraine war. And I'll see you in the next update.